Story 1. As a man, I have only ever been approached by gay men. I do not have an attraction to men, but it is a nice confidence boost. I consider my appearance to be average. Story 2. Tall and moderately well-dressed. I often joke that I have no game because being tall has always taken me far enough. Story 3. Muscular but slightly chubby with a beard. She knows I can overhead press her but will also eat pie off her left cheek. Story 4. Not anymore. I realized I was being approached a while ago based on things that used to happen that don't anymore. They accidentally bump into me and say sorry. A group of girls asks me to take their picture. They laugh at my jokes and show interest in my hobbies. I think when guys do get approached, it can be too subtle for us to notice. Story 5. I wouldn't say I get approached a lot. I'm 5 feet 2 inches tall, have a short beard that I trim every 2 to 2.5 weeks, and brown hair with a fade. I have a bit of a dad bod, even though I used to be more athletic. I need to stop snacking. Many women say I'm attractive, but I wouldn't say I get approached, not that I notice anyway. Story 6. My ex was dark and muscular with handsome features, about 5 feet 11 inches tall and had big shoulders. He was constantly approached. Story 7. Like a Greek god, chiseled from a solid block of granite, with charisma oozing from my pores. Women love me and men want to be me. Story 8. The only time I received a compliment was when I weighed over 300 pounds. I have lost over 100 pounds and have not received a compliment since. Story 9. I have an average face and an above-average body, but not excessively so. I exercise regularly. It's mostly because I'm an outgoing person that people feel comfortable around me. They believe it will be well received. I don't know. Story 10. I received attention frequently when I was between the ages of 18 and 23. I was fit during that time. Now my face has changed significantly. Story 11. I am 5 feet 5 inches tall with a nice fashion sense. I had long hair, but I buzzed it all off. I have vitiligo under my eyes, which gives them a smoky appearance. I am not shredded or a bodybuilder, but I do work out. I don't see myself as attractive. I don't have a defined jawline or exceptional facial structure. I believe people appreciate my personality more than my looks, at least among those I choose to surround myself with. Story 12. Being physically fit is the most important criterion. After that, facial attraction follows, and it is essential to manage it well to build self-confidence. Story 13. I am a slightly better looking than average man in my mid-50s. I'm not sure if I am being hit on, but I am definitely being flirted with a lot by several Indian women in their 20s at work. I didn't think much of it, but several coworkers continue to point it out. They say things like, "They don't talk to anyone else," referring to Caucasians. "Are you two dating?" Or, "What's so special about you?" I have a bit of a belly, more gray hair than brown, and I dress conservatively. It's flattering, but all the attention from coworkers is starting to get awkward. Story 14. I have extremely unusual eyes that do all the heavy lifting. I have been told my eyes are very intense. Whenever I meet new people, the first thing they mention is my eyes. They often cause trouble with men, as I may appear to be very aggressive. Story 15. I don't know how to describe my face, but I receive a lot of stares. I also have a good, memorable voice for a man. Story 16. I'm 18. My left arm tattoo sleeve may be the only reason I get attention. My blonde hair and blue eyes might help a little as well. Story 17. I'm a bit overweight with a beard and stand 5 feet 9 inches tall. However, I have a good sense of humor and am not afraid to be silly in public, which seems to convey confidence. Honestly, many girls appreciate someone who is fuzzy, full-figured, and funny. It's also beneficial to have a decent personality and cooking skills. Story 18. I have a beard and an athletic build, having worked hard to reach 190 pounds. I am 6 feet 4 inches tall, wear glasses, and have short hair. I am embracing and accepting my thinning hair. I often wear button-up short-sleeve shirts, jeans, Doc Martens, and various types of hats. My success mainly comes from caring and listening to others. People appreciate when you listen to them. Additionally, I strive to be open and emotionally available, willing to share my thoughts and feelings. Story 19. Define a lot. If you mean on the same level as a stereotypical Chad, then no. If you mean hitting on someone at all, including stalking and harassment, then I am a 5 feet 4 inches, skinny fat, Southeast Asian individual with wavy hair. Story 20. I have short hair, wear glasses, and have been told that my smile makes people want to hit me. I got hit very hard once, and now I have a slight cross-eyed appearance. This seems to attract even more attention from people. I suppose I just have one of those faces. Story 21. I always looked a bit awkward, at best amusing, until I unexpectedly experienced a transformation in my 40s. I am slim with a slight belly, have short blonde hair, and a close-cropped beard with some gray. I receive compliments fairly regularly now, which is a nice confidence boost. It also helps that I am a DJ. Story 22. I look like an average guy, but I only get approached when I am wearing a suit for work, almost never otherwise. Story 23. Back in the day when I was young and in great shape, I had hair and dimples. However, a dad bod and male pattern baldness changed that quickly. Story 24. 6 feet 3 inches, 300 pounds, with a big bushy beard and tattoos. I frequently receive attention from men, but it is not my preference. I appreciate the compliment, though. Story 25. Not me, but my friend gets hit often. He looks like James Dean with salt and pepper hair and striking blue eyes. Story 26. I have a friend who looks exactly like Charlie Sheen. Women would just walk up to him, and within an hour, they would sleep with him. I have also seen him pick up a woman, and she would then pick up another woman on her own, and they would take him home. It was literally like 3.5 men. He had a normal job, nothing special, but he did have fancy business cards with his pager from the 1990s. Yes, and he was married. Story 27. I'm always getting hit on. I think it's just because I'm married and people want what they can't have. I'm 5 feet 10 inches tall, with a somewhat athletic build, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Story 28. I don't get approached anymore because I'm older, weathered, out of shape, and I avoid interaction with anyone who isn't my partner at all costs. However, girls flirted with me a lot in my early 20s. I was never particularly attractive, but a sense of humor goes a long way. I also had a lot of confidence, though in hindsight, I view my previous behavior as arrogance, so I don't know if that worked in my favor. In basic terms, I had blonde hair, green eyes, good eyebrows, and lips, I was told. To this day, I still have no idea what makes eyebrows or lips good. Slim but fit. Not particularly tall, and my skin wasn't great. Just a very average guy who knew how to make people laugh. Fellas, get yourself a joke book. Story 29. You don't get approached in romantic situations. This happens in one of two ways. When you make contact with single women, they often look the other way and shy away 99 times out of 100. The other group consists of committed women, who may roll their eyes and ignore you. Story 30. My boyfriend is incredibly attractive. I'm not being biased, but he truly is. However, he only gets approached by men when I'm not around. Story 31. I receive attention from others more than the average person, but not excessively. I'm not a movie star, but I consider myself relatively handsome, which brings me some attention. I am above average in height, have low body fat, a muscular build, good hair, and dress in a way that highlights my best features. My old friend was incredibly good-looking, one of the best-looking individuals I have seen, and he received a lot of attention from girls. When girls were around and he couldn't hear them, they often talked about how attractive he was. Many girls would say he was attractive whenever he was mentioned in conversation. Not everyone, of course, but many. Girls would stare at him consistently, and he received numerous matches on dating apps. At parties where alcohol was present, he would occasionally be approached. It wasn't all the time, but he definitely got approached much more than the average guy did. He dressed like a regular person, but his style was on point. He had a trendy demeanor, so he would dress in a cool way. Story 32. Ordinary or almost. When they look down and admire the equipment molded into the fabric, they become excited. They are compelled to wear long sweaters for peace of mind. Story 33. I am an average-looking guy, but being a single dad raising 3 kids is great, especially with a 1-year-old daughter. The moms really appreciate that. Story 34. It totally depends on the environment. I am 6 feet 3 inches tall and fairly lean and muscular. At the grocery store, it never happens. At festivals during my younger years, girls would sometimes walk up and ask to touch my stomach. I believe my height and physicality may be more of a hindrance when it comes to random approaches, to be honest. However, once I started dressing better, my opportunities increased significantly, typically based on my style rather than anything physical. Women fear rejection much more than the average man. A lot of women's approach is simply dropping subtle hints that they are open or available to you, such as facing you, making quick eye contact, touching their hair, or laughing at anything you say. Story 35. I don't know, before being married, I received one compliment in college when a good friend's roommate thought I was cute. I've always had a pretty negative self-image, so I probably look better than I think. But yes, that's the only compliment I can remember before my wife. Story 36. I often get approached based on my activities. I dance well and go dancing frequently. I teach classes on mushroom cultivation and attend poetry nights. I probably receive attention a few times a month. I don't think I've ever been approached while simply existing. For men, it seems to be about demonstrating that you are actively good at something a woman finds attractive. Story 37. I receive compliments on my long hair quite often, but I wouldn't describe it as being hit on, as the remarks are usually friendly in tone rather than anything else. Story 38. I am 5 feet 11 inches tall with a salt and pepper beard that I grow out for winter due to working outside. I have average to slender arms because I do not work out my upper body, and my chest is small. My lower body is toned because I power walk 15 to 20 miles a day. I have to buy pants 2 sizes up and in a loose fit to get them over my hips. I have thick thighs and strong, lean calves. I tan very easily and often get asked about my ethnicity. I am mostly white. That said, the compliments I receive from Black and Hispanic women, as well as from gay men, are the only reasons I have any confidence at all. Story 39. I always think someone is being nice. I am also engaging, nice, and complimentary. People have told me I was flirty, and I had no idea because I have been the same way all my life except when I was overweight. When I was overweight, I was called friendly, but now I am called flirty. Story 40. I wouldn't say it's a lot, but maybe more than average. I consider myself to be in shape, walk with confidence, and do my best to groom myself and be presentable by wearing well-fitting clothes, combing my hair, and maintaining a clean haircut and grooming my goatee and mustache. I have tattoos, including a full sleeve and a half sleeve. I get them because I like them, and many women have mentioned that they find them attractive, as well as my earrings. Story 41. Kurt Smith from Tears for Fears. I've aged quite a bit like him too. I received a lot of attention when that band was popular in the mid to late 80s when I was 17 to 21. Story 42. The individuals I know who often get approached are usually in a band or possess a combination of being tall, athletic, and well-dressed. Story 43. I have been in shape, overweight, and in between for my adult life. Honestly, I don't believe that looks make a difference at a certain point. It's about approachability. I have been attracted to periodically in all ranges of what I would consider attractive. The difference is that during the times when I am having a good time, being fun, and putting out good vibes, I seem to attract attention. I'm not saying they were all perfect, but I have had some very attractive women show interest, and I have realized it's as much about your vibe as it is about anything else. Additionally, my wife is not a fan of me being approached, but I usually just laugh it off. Story 44. I have slicked back hair that is slightly long and green eyes. My teeth are straight and white. I have a physique similar to 75% of JJ Watt's body. I usually wear a lot of Roper and Abercrombie and Fitch shirts, along with the occasional sports shirt and slightly skinny jeans. I typically wear Nikes or cowboy boots, along with a Western-style belt and buckle. I often wear aviator sunglasses outdoors and a baseball cap. I have a short beard on my neck and a goatee. That's about it. Story 45. The individuals I know who often get approached are either in a band or possess a combination of being tall, athletic, and well-dressed. Story 46. It's strange. When I was single, I was never approached. But once I got a ring on my finger, people came out of the woodwork. I basically looked the same. Story 47. It happens quite often when I bartend or go out for a drink after my shift. I am 5 feet 7 inches tall, weigh 175 pounds, and have a body fat percentage of 14 to 15%. I am clean-shaven and have many tattoos. A portion of the attention I receive is from women trying to get free drinks, while much of it comes from middle-aged women flirting harmlessly for conversation. Looks play a small part, but personally, being approached increased dramatically once I became genuinely at peace with myself. I am confident in who I am, and when I talk to someone I don't know, the entire point is to have a mutually positive interaction. Story 48. I'm not sure I would consider it as being approached, but I am frequently complimented because of my hair, which is jaw length and wavy brown. My girlfriend also believes it is one of my best attributes. Other guys approach me because they think I have an attractive figure. Story 49. I have an unusual look, somewhat elvish, which I believe attracts attention. I've been described as oddly handsome, and I think it suggests I look unconventional but is interpreted as handsome, if that makes sense. Story 50. Tall with good hair, maintaining that all-black outfit. However, that pales in comparison to being a good listener, which is unfortunate because I usually associate that quality with being a good friend. Yeah, that sounds pretentious, but I know what I am. Story 51. I am 65 years old and have been married twice. In every relationship I've had, the woman made the first move. I am not particularly tall at 5 feet 10 inches and have thin hair that is thinning on top. I have a typical dad bod and am not athletic, so there is nothing particularly attractive about me. In my case, I believe it is my ability to make them laugh and help them feel safe and comfortable around me that they found attractive. It certainly wasn't my looks, and the attitude of Andrew Tate would not work with any women I know. Story 52. Slightly overweight, but it's on a frame that hides it pretty well. Long dark hair, beard length varying, and one sleeve that goes down from my shoulder to my fingers. I usually dress in dark clothes, jeans, boots, and a faux leather or denim jacket. The faux leather jacket helps me avoid preemptively annoying the left-leaning girls who are out as well. I often wear rings and some form of necklace too. I am 5 feet 11 inches tall and have eyes that convey exhaustion and sadness. Apparently, UK alternative girls find that appealing, especially when they see me reading comfortably while I'm out in a new town, not knowing anyone, recently single, and just trying to avoid staying in my house all the time. When I go out, I tend to flirt with 2 or 3 women a night. I don't think I have ever gone home with one on the same night, but I usually get their contact details, only to realize they type in a way that annoys me in the morning, which makes me feel like the most boring person on the planet and contributes to my ongoing single status, as that is a significant deal breaker for me. Story 53. Ruggedly handsome. I have been told I resemble a crossover between a young Harrison Ford and Eminem. When I grow a beard, it looks great. I have a muscular chest, shoulders, and arms, and I am slightly taller than average. I have deep blue eyes, and many women have complimented them over the years. I have never done anything interesting with my hair. I keep it short. Story 54. I am 6 feet 6 inches tall, fit, with curly dark hair, tan skin, tattoos, a pronounced facial structure, and smooth skin. I often receive compliments about my teeth, smile, or voice. Story 55. I am 6 feet 7 inches tall, weigh 215 pounds, and have short hair. I have a slim but muscular build. My wife says I look like a budget version of Jacob Elordi, though I think she's being too generous. I don't know if I can say a lot anymore, but several times a year, women will comment on my appearance. This happens in traffic with my window down as customers walk by, and while I'm just walking down the street or at bars. I always respond with a thank you and a wave because I don't know what else to do. I've been with my wife since I was 19, so my flirting skills are non-existent. Story 56. I'm only 5 feet 6 inches tall, but I get approached by both men and women. I am Hispanic and can move my hips fluidly. I am also fit and carefree. Story 57. To keep it short and exotic, I'm from the Caribbean. My dad has ancestry from various backgrounds, while my mom has African and indigenous roots. This combination gives me dark features, light olive skin, and nice curls, along with a full head of hair and a short, trimmed beard. I'm somewhat tall and fit, and my intelligence and quick wit are also assets. I know I'm attractive because women often act differently around me, seeking reasons to collaborate at work and staring at me in stores. The biggest confirmation, though, was when I shared a picture in a dog group, cosplaying a character from a video game. It may sound trivial, but the post went viral, attracting hundreds of comments from women about my looks. Story 58. They will gravitate towards you or bump into you and nudge your elbow. To be honest, most of them will not approach you directly, but their body language will open up to you, and you may feel them looking at you more often than usual. Story 59. I am a white man, but because of my Eastern European ancestry, I have a slightly mysterious appearance. I have been mistaken for Latino many times, even by Latino individuals. I often analyze my own features critically and see several flaws. I have had a negative outlook on myself for a long time. However, I frequently notice that women stare at me, especially in the gym. I am not young, but I am not old either. Although I exercise regularly, I have what people might describe as an athletic dad bod. I definitely have thicker, stronger legs than most men, as many do not work out their legs often. I also have a shapely butt, and I notice women looking at me when I turn around. That might be my most appealing feature. Despite working out a lot, I still have a belly, but it's not like a protruding beer gut. I have brown hair and brown eyes, and I get a good tan when I am in the sun. I describe this not out of egotism, but because I am consistently surprised by how much attention I receive. Story 60. Look at my profile. I was very overweight, but I started to take care of myself. Now it feels like night and day. It was truly worth it, and I recommend everyone to start exercising. You can do it. Story 61. I'm sorry, but I cannot access or retrieve content from external links. If you provide the text directly, I can assist you with corrections and modifications. Story 62. Honestly, I feel like I am pretty average looking. I have an average size of 5 feet 7 inches and weigh 145 pounds with an average build as an ultra-distance cyclist, so I am mostly lean muscle. I have absolutely no concern about fashion. Shorts and sandals are the uniform at the beach. Despite that, I live a very active and open polyamorous lifestyle. I cannot explain why I attract others so easily, but it is nice. Story 63. This may sound unusual, but I get approached often because people say I have a nonchalant, cool vibe. I also receive compliments on my eyes. I have striking eyes with long eyelashes. Story 64. Men can become overconfident if you compliment them, so I avoid doing so because it may make them think you are easy. Story 65. Most men are often approached as a joke. Men have a tendency to be overly pursued or desired these days. To be honest, even as a feminist, I find this very unattractive. Just take the risk of looking silly and talk to the person. Women typically don't think about you as much as you might believe. Story 66. I am an American man, clean-cut and with good hygiene. I dress well most of the time. I am about 5 feet 11 and 3/4 inches tall. While I am not skinny, I have broad shoulders. I consider myself very charming and confident in my social interactions. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.